see my screen? Liwa, you see my screen?
Can see your screen.
Yeah, thank you, Auntie Anne. Great. Okay, let's get started then. So thank you everyone again for being on this Zoom meeting. Welcome. Hope you're all doing well, and thank you for taking the time out, to attend this meeting. And we're going to be sharing with you tonight about a few different, very interesting concepts. The first one being CashFlow Quadrant, and also how it's related to the business that we would like to share with you about shopping annuity or shop.com. So if I can ask you guys, how many of you actually have heard of the book CashFlow Quadrant? If you can actually type in the chat group and let me know if you've heard of CashFlow Quadrant. And also the person who actually started, the concept of CashFlow Quadrant or the author of the book, Robert Kiyosaki, who is, you can see his photo up the top here. His name is Robert Kiyosaki. So Robert Kiyosaki is actually recognized as today's leading financial expert. And, he actually has written quite a number of best-selling books, including CashFlow Quadrant, which is the first concept we are going to be sharing with you tonight, but also Rich Dad Poor Dad and a number of other books as well. So how many of you here have actually either read the book CashFlow Quadrant or Rich Dad Poor Dad? Anyone?
Yes, I have.
Okay, great. Fantastic. Yeah, it's a really good book. And I remember when I was 18, one of my friends actually, let me read that book or gave me that book as a present. And since that time, I started understanding, the financial concept of the CashFlow Quadrant, which I'm going to be sharing with you. But before I get started, I just wanted to share a little bit about Robert Kiyosaki. He has been spending his whole life really, teaching people how to get financial freedom. And like many people in the beginning, Robert Kiyosaki had a very negative or really close-minded attitude towards the kind of system that we're going to be sharing called network marketing or direct selling, right? And but he's basically since evaluated this kind of business and changed his mind and becoming very open to the way, this kind of business can help people to level the playing field and earn an ongoing residual income. Because he found that, some things that are extremely beneficial, as well as for those people who are looking for particularly moving from being in what we call the left-hand quadrant, which is, you can see in front of you, the employee and self-employed area, to being a business owner or an investor. So let's go through the different quadrants here. Okay, first is employee, okay? So as an employee, I'm sure that, quite a lot of you have been through being an employee before, or that you are now an employee. So as an employee, you basically have a job and you work for a company, so basically an owner of the company for their success, and you trade your time for money, which means that when you go to work, then of course your boss will give you the income that you deserve, and so that is trading time for money. And so this that is basically the first quadrant, which is the top left-hand employee quadrant. So basically, that is by and large, most people's way of earning an income. Then on the second quadrant, which is the left hand below the employee quadrant, is the self-employed quadrant. Okay, so with self-employed people, basically what you can see is you are trading more time for more money. You are basically a professional, you're the owner and the worker all in one. So what that means is that you work for your own success. You basically own a job. Like, when we talk about employee, you have a job given by your employer, whereas with self-employed, you create a job that is your own. The good thing about self-employed, as opposed to employee, is that you would earn more money. However, you would need to spend more time. And the negative or, not so good part of the self-employed quadrant is that you basically spend a lot of time in it, to the point that you really don't have that much time for yourself. And so from that perspective, it's still, a case of trading more time for more money, and you don't really have that much time freedom, right? So that is the S quadrant. Now, S quadrant, apart from the word self-employed, a lot of people also call themselves solopreneur, or skilled people, like skillful people like accountants, doctors, and people that have a professional job that they would be working for themselves. So what I'd like you guys to be doing as I present these different quadrants is towards the end of me sharing about the 4 quadrants, to type in the group chat which quadrant or more than one quadrants that you're in, so that we can compare notes and see what sort of experiences this group of people that are on this call have experienced. All right, so let's have a look on the right-hand side, which is business owner. Now, business owner is the type of quadrant that we are focusing on discussing tonight. It's called, B quadrant, which is basically the standard operating procedure, which we call SOP, which is also leveraging on people and a system. So with the business owner quadrant, you basically have people either working for you or with you. So things like partnership, leveraging on a group of people's expertise, their skills, or their time, that is business owner. So let's say if you own your own business and you have employees working for you, you pay them to work for you, then you're a business owner. And with the CashFlow Quadrant B, we also are talking about the system, which is an important part of it, because without a system, then being a business owner will not actually allow you to be successful. And with this quadrant, one thing that is very important is that expansion actually incurs additional financial investment normally. And it also can create competition in the typical business owner situation. But when we are talking about, the business that we would like to share with you a bit later on, that we call shop.com, it is also in this quadrant, but a little bit different from the traditional business owner situation, which I'll share more about that. So for those of you who are not aware, shop.com is an internet franchise or unfranchised business with an A+ Better Business Bureau company, which means that, in the independent, rating, the company has an A+ with, performance, integrity, and the excellence. So that is something that, we'll be focusing on a bit later. Okay, so then the last quadrant is what we call an I quadrant, which stands for investor. Now, with investor, basically your money works for you. So, when you think about investing, is things like properties or shares, stock or gold, or different things that you have an extra, discretionary income that you can put into investing, so the money that you earn is passive. So if I can just invite you guys to type in the group chat, out of these 4 different quadrants, which one or more than one are you involved with right now? Okay, let's have a look. So Liwa, he is an employee and a self-employed person and also investor. Wonderful, thanks for sharing. Min is an employee, and Dennis is a business owner and also an investor. Right, and that's okay. Aurora, welcome. So Aurora, maybe you can also share with us, out of the ESBI quadrant, which one are you? And Auntie Anne is a B and I quadrants. Marissa also. Cleo is an employee and an unfranchised owner, which is also B quadrant. Hui is a B quadrant business owner. Jojo, welcome. Jojo is an employee and also a self-employed person. Mira is a self-employed and business owner. May is an employee and investor. So now that you're part of shop.com, you're also a business owner. And Robert is an employee. Fantastic. Thank you everyone for sharing. Really appreciate it. So for me, I am a self-employed business owner and investor between me and my husband as well. So thank you. Justin, an employee, investor, and business owner. Yeah, Justin, you and I are the same. INE. So it's very interesting, as you can see, there is some really good concept that, you can actually go through multiple streams of income. So if you're actually more than one quadrant, that means your income comes through different sources of income that you can either have leverage, passive or active income through working for others or as a self-employed person, as a professional owner and working for yourself. So that's good. Now, tonight though, we would like to share particularly the B quadrant, as I mentioned, which we focus on talking about, being a business owner or an unfranchised owner, whereby you have a system or what we call SOP, a standard operating procedure, which we have people working together for you or with you. Okay, so let's take a look at that. Now, for those of us who are in the B quadrant, generally, when we're thinking about a business owner, we only have one source of income. Now, with one source of income, what that means is that there is only one industry. So people work for you and you leverage on them. So let's say your source of income may come from the type of industry. Let's say if you own a McDonald's, a franchise, then of course that income source would be fast food. And if you own, let's say a florist, then as a business owner, then your source of income would be to sell flowers, right? So depending on what sort of, small business that you're in, that source of income would be your main focus. Okay, so if you have a look as a business owner, you on top would be the boss, obviously. Then below you, there would be either the middle management, and then you would have different levels of people working for you. Okay. Hello, Sam Yi, welcome. Very good to have you as Liwa's guest. All right. So now, when you think about being a business owner, we think always to expand our business. Obviously, we don't want to just have sort of just one standard type. You want to have an expansion of more than one industry. But if you think about expanding your business, what happens is that you will need to then have additional investment. So let's say, as I mentioned previously, if you want to be doing a business in like a forestry, and then you want to open another industry, let's say in skincare, then you have to invest in additional investment. So for those of you who may or may not heard of Robert Kiyosaki or even Richard Branson. Richard Branson is someone that I really admire. I actually met him about 7 years ago in a financial education summit. And he is someone that has more than, I think, 13 exactly multi-billion-dollar industries. So he's the owner of Virgin, he's the owner of record companies and many, many others. So every single one of those businesses that he expands, he would have to be adding investment in each of them. So that is an example of expansion. Not only that, it would also create competition because obviously, in different industry, especially if it is the same type of industry, but in different location, there would be competition. And because of the different location and other people doing the same type of industry, of course, you would be having, the different types of competition. So if you have a look at business owners, if you build businesses, you would see that it's on your own. However, if you become an entrepreneur and building network, you can actually leverage on existing business. So this is what we're talking about, the building of network. not just building of the individual industry. So you can leverage. So the concept of leverage is a very important one, whereby you don't have to do it all by yourself. You can actually, work together with other people that have their own expertise, their own, experiences and financial backing and stuff like that. So if you have a look, with building network, then you actually minimize competition because you can work together and you can share investment if you have partnership as well. Okay, so for those of you who've been in traditional businesses, if I can ask you to perhaps, type in the group chat whether you are right now a traditional business owner or you've been in a traditional business. Type in the kind of industry that you've been in for me, please. Okay, so as for me, I actually do a freelance type work. It's sort of like a self-employed business. It's a very small one where, I do, teaching through freelance online. What about other people? What kind of business have you guys been involved with in terms of traditional business? Daniel and Jacqueline, what sort of business has your family been involved with? Well, my dad used to own travel agency, and he would be doing a lot of different franchises all around the world and bring people to see, different tourist attractions all around the world. So that is, quite a big business. It was a traditional business that my dad used to be. Aurora has had a Japanese restaurant for 10 years ago. And so if you guys would like to share and maybe, a bit later on, different types of experiences as well. And I understand Auntie Look even had, a Boost Juice businesses as well. So, and my senior business partners, they had Angie and Kevin have had, a graphic design business. So there are so many people that have had traditional businesses that we can actually learn from. And so Robert has a Malaysian Asian restaurant previously as well, which is amazing because, being able to own a restaurant is certainly something that has given you a lot of business experiences, I'm sure. Okay, so let's have a look at traditional business, okay? With traditional business, these are the different things that you will need to consider. First, as a traditional business owner, if you want to, acquire group to build expansion, you would need to spend quite a lot of startup money, hundreds and thousands, even millions, right? And whether it's local business expansions, interstate or international, it would cost a lot of money. And let's say, as I mentioned, if you want to diversify into other industries. So I've got a friend who owned a bakery shop, like a bakery in Chinatown. And then she extended to become open another travel agency. So these are totally two different types of industries. She has to invest in extra income in the different industries. So that's another example. Like my brother, Johnny, he owns a Courier Please franchise. He had to pay 60,000-70,000 just to buy the franchise. And of course, the van is another 70,000-80,000. So that is one industry. So let's say if he wants to build another business somewhere else, then of course the expansion will cost extra money as well. So if you want to grow the business, of course you also need to invest more money, right? So Justin also has owned a music education franchise. So that would cost quite a fair bit of money, right, Justin? And I understand that Auntie Anne Look has been in many types of traditional business as well, and Mira short-term rental management. Yeah, so all of you have been through traditional businesses, which you would understand, the difficulties and also the financial resources that are required. Yeah. And so that's why it's very interesting for us to understand, the differences between the traditional entrepreneur and how that is different from what we are going to be sharing with you today regarding the unfranchised business. Okay, so let's have a look then at shop.com. Now, hey, Dennis has been involved in 25 years in wholesale marketing business. So yeah, Dennis, you're very, very experienced with a wholesale marketing business. I'm sure that you would have invested in quite a fair bit of investment and expansion in, in the industries, right? So that is the traditional business. Now, let's have a look now then at the shop.com business. As I've shared a little bit previously, that shop.com, whether it's, originally started up in Market America, in the US, and for those of you in Australia, it's Market Australia, and we've got people in Malaysia, that's Market Malaysia, and Singapore, Market Singapore. It's all under the same umbrella of shop.com. And with the UnFranchise business, it's actually very similar to the traditional network. It's got, a lot of resemblance. However, there are some differences. Okay, so let's have a look at it. Now, with shop.com, we are built on total equality, which means that every income center that you build, has the same CAD income potential. And everyone has the same requirements. So it doesn't matter whether you're actually, starting from as a beginner, or you have been in this business for more than 20 years. This business has been around for 27 years now. The same requirements are the same for everyone. And everyone can own multiple centers. You can, in fact, earn up to 999. And if you have new income centers, then you can actually solidify the income of previous linked centers as well. And there is no additional financial commitment for multiple centers. You only need to invest time in it. Unlike what we've talked about, in the traditional businesses, let's say, for example, we use the example of the people on this group, say, for example, Dennis, wholesale marketing business, including, say, Auntie Anne's traditional business in Boost Juice, or a supermarket, or Mirror short-term rental management, or music, education franchise in Justin's case, or with Robert and Aurora's, Asian restaurants. If every single one of you are to be partnering together, each of this industry, you would have to be spending extra money to be, expanding, right, to the other industries. However, if you look at shop.com, we are multiple industries. So even within, the exclusive products, we have things like, health and nutrition, we have skincare, we have, multiple shop.com with website and premium products and heaps of, like, hundreds of partner stores, but you don't really need to have to invest in extra financial commitment. Okay, so let's have a look at how it works, because of the fact that everyone actually gets 100% of the business volume, so that you can create excellent teamwork and synergy. So if you have a look at the numbers and the graph in front of you, there are the first person, you as UFO is unfranchised owner. You can see the different circles. There are how many circles there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 circles. They are all yourselves. Let's say you have 7 centers. You already have, each center can have the potential to earn 187,200 or more, the equivalent in Australian dollars. So that means, every single one of the center actually can receive 100% of everyone else. So that is why it's so amazing. With 7 centers, you're already earning, close to, 6-7 figure already, because one center is already 187 if it is maxed out. So far, you can see there is a little bit of a difference, but let me just spell it out, the differences between the traditional and shop.com. If you have a look at the traditional businesses, you need to start up, with thousands and hundreds of thousands, even $1 million startups. So let's say a McDonald's, you need to, spend at least more than $1 million Australian dollars just to start one. And all individual business setup has its own earning potential. And each business setup also also needs extra money to expand. Whereas if you have a look at shop.com, it's very, very low startup investment, only a few $100s, and all income center gets 100% of the business volume from their organization, which is unlike traditional business where if you have different types of industries, you will never get 100%, right? So let's say even if you have one, say McDonald's in Penang, the other McDonald's in KL, you need to actually, put in extra investment. Earning potential will be different. Whereas if you have, a shop.com in Penang, another one in KL, 100%, in the same organization, you get, the business volume. And the other thing about shop.com is everyone is entitled to multiple centers and you don't have to pay extra to expand as well. And the other thing is that, new expansion for businesses in the traditional business has no direct benefits to the existing businesses. Whereas with shop.com, if you have new centers, it actually solidify the income. In fact, help you to earn more. And number 5 is that every extra business entity costs extra money, as we mentioned already, whether it's for investment or overhead. Whereas with shop.com, you don't have to pay any extra financial commitment. All you need is just spending time to help, with the expansion of it. And it's not just your own time, your own effort, as we talked about, the leverage of other people working together to be able to expand it. Then finally, you can build the own asset ownership. You will have to have a lot of high overheads, whereas with shop.com is built for everyone with very, very low overheads. And that is what we call sharing economy. And if you compare the traditional versus shop.com businesses, you need to actually have a lot of money to drive the growth for the traditional businesses, whereas with shop.com, the growth is really driven by people. So that's why we call it people power. So does anyone know anything about sharing economy? For those of you who've heard of sharing economy, what can you tell me about sharing economy? You can just type in the group chat if you have any idea what are some of the examples of companies out there that use the concept of sharing economy. Anyone? Yep, Groupon, Airbnb. That's right, Uber, exactly. Well, these are the different companies that use the concept of sharing economy. So what are the similarity between all these different companies? Yep, Aurora, Amazon, fantastic. Really, there is a lot of company already, using this amazing trend called sharing economy. Like Justin said, you don't need to keep stock. So in essence, sharing economy is the trend that is really happening now, where it's an economic model defined as what we call a P2P, which is peer-to-peer based activity of acquiring, providing, and sharing access of both the goods and the services that are facilitated by a community-based online forum. So as some of you have already indicated, things like Groupon, Airbnb, Uber, Amazon, eBay, etc. They have no stock, like Justin said. Yeah, we work also, Dennis, well done. This kind of paradigm shift is that they don't have to keep stock, they don't own anything, but they are able to earn from each of these company and share the wealth. And so that's why it's also called collaborative consumption or collaborative economy. So let's have a look at this graph and you'll be able to understand this new paradigm shift, which is amazing. A lot of people have already earned so much money from sharing economy. So this the 4 examples that all of you have already indicated: Uber, Airbnb, Amazon, Alibaba, eBay, or PayPal. Now, the common theme is that they don't own anything, and that this kind of business model really drives the sharing economy in the sense that they don't have to own anything. Say Uber, they actually provide cars or motor vehicles for their consumers. However, Uber itself doesn't own any vehicle. And it was founded in 2009. It's been 10 years now. All over the world, we have 40 million users using Uber, and the company now valued at $50 billion. And Airbnb, they provide a lot of houses and real estate for people to use. However, Airbnb doesn't actually own any real estate. And they started in 2008, more than 150 million users already, and a company valued at $30 billion. And Amazon is another example. Part of Amazon is also Alibaba Group, which is really, growing very, very quickly in Asia, particularly in China as well. And they don't make anything. However, everything that's on their platform in Amazon or Alibaba actually have been able to help more than 300 million people for Amazon and 600 million people in Alibaba to provide the goods and services. And the company valued at 700 billion for Amazon and 500 billion for Alibaba, which only started 20 years ago and 25 years ago, which is amazing. And when you look at eBay or PayPal, they don't have any commercial outlets, which means that everything is online. They don't actually need to be selling things in a retail store yet. They have been able to sell so many things through their platform. eBay founded in 1995, PayPal 1998, and they have so many users, 170 and 240 million respectively. And the company value at $42 and $102 billion respectively. Okay, so it's the same with WeWork, like Dennis said. Same kind of concept where the paradigm shift is that all of these companies have one thing in common. They don't own anything. However, they are able to provide the goods or the services for people that are consumers to use. So they're actually the platform in between as a vehicle. So that's basically the paradigm shift. A lot of the older companies, they would be having a manufacturing plants where they have to be making their own products. And if the products don't sell, they're stuck with it. Whereas these companies, they don't have to worry about that. So now let me share with you how Shop.com is different from all of this, but also the same. Shop.com also is the same as most of these companies in terms of sharing economy, in that we share goods and services to our customers, consumers, or clients. So if you have a look at this graph on the top left-hand side, these are some of the companies, our partner stores, like Smiggle, Lenovo, ASOS, David Jones, Maya, and Groupon, Menulog, MCal, etc. In fact, we have 788 companies, as our partner stores, that the goods and services providers that we don't own as Shop.com. However, we are able to, connect them to our consumers, and very much like Uber, Amazon, Alibaba, Airbnb, etc. The only difference is that, with all of these other companies that share economy, all we can do as consumers is we can just use their service, right? So let's say, when I need to be using a car, but I don't have a car, when I go to the US or, Malaysia, I would be using Uber, right? I can't be earning money from it. All I can do is as a consumer. With Shop.com, though, the only the better benefit is that we can become part of Shop.com as an owner, as an unfranchised owner. So how does that work? Well, let's have a look. Shop.com is based on the concept of converting spending into earning. So if you were to use anything from Airbnb, like, renting a house for your holidays, or if you buy anything from Amazon, you would be spending money, but you will never be able to earn money from these places, right? However, if you become a Shop.com owner, you can actually convert all your spending and your customer spendings into money and an ongoing earning and income as well. This is how it works. Basically, the company Shop.com creates a system, just like what we said about the B quadrant and SOP, a platform where every time a dollar is spent, it creates income for that person and for all who are economically connected within the system. So everyone that is in the same organization is able to earn an income based on that leverage. So that is basically what shop.com is all about. So perhaps I'd like to just stop here for a little bit. For those of you who are, guests, do you have any question? And can you see the differences between, the sharing economy of all the other companies that we mentioned, like Groupon, Airbnb, Uber, Amazon, WeWork, etc., as opposed to shop.com? And if I can maybe, at this point invite Auntie Anne perhaps to share a bit of your experience, because, most of the people that are on this group actually belong to Auntie Anne Lok's organization. And it would be wonderful, Auntie Anne, if you can share a little bit about how this leverage has been able to help you earn, millions of dollars already.
Yes, I like to share. It's only thing that, let's say, a lot of friends, they put product in eBay or anything.
Yep.
Only earn just like you are working for eBay. eBay keep every commission, but eBay don't share the economic with you. Or you put the product in Amazon.com or anything, you have to create your own customer also. But in shop.com is different. You don't need a lot of customer. That is one thing I like.
Yeah.
And, you can, just like the company already said, if you have 10 to 15 customers, you are very good. So I can serve my customer very well. And the other thing, you only need to expand your franchises by teaching somebody to do the same as you. Not many. If you can duplicate 2 and you ask them to duplicate down, you were there. That's why this is what I'm doing. It is such a good platform. And I have people who do, let's say, website or nutrition or makeup,
Yes.
That's what we do. That is the difference. And shop.com share, when you look at the economic, they share more than 50% of the income to us, shop.com owner.
That's right.
Best company, and all the CEO, corporate team, they are franchise owners. So that is what attract me.
Yes, and can I ask you also, Auntie Anne, because you've been in so many other businesses, how do you see shop.com as one of the best, in fact, the best that you've experienced?
Yeah, because when I see their requirement, really for average person, just that they say your higher requirement that is 150 BV is $300. I'm thinking, who cannot afford to earn $1 million like this commitment? That's one thing attract me. Second thing attract me is they really put the capital is so low.
Yes.
You don't need to keep stock, and you 100% get for everybody. Doesn't matter they are there. I'm thinking of, that's too good to be true, is it? True, you see. When you in the system, you'll know why it's true.
That's
of
right.
course, they will cap the income. That's why they say one center you can only earn 100 over 1,000. If you want second one, then you have to create the second one. You see, but all the second and third all committed together.
Exactly.
All the point go up to your first also. So that's why you don't need a lot of people.
Yeah, and I also understand, Auntie, and you mentioned that obviously you are doing this, big business in the past, but also as an investor, how is it compare with, let's say, people who are into investment or properties, and why is it that is a lot easier in terms of leveling the playing field? We don't have to be spending so much money. Yes. But to be able to earn a lot of money. Like in your case, I understand that you're the highest earning person in Australia, whereby you're already, multimillionaire, and you earn like 8,000 to 10,000 a week. It's not easy, if you were to be doing it in a business setting and invest in hundreds of thousands. In fact, I remember with Booth Studios, you have to invest in what, 400,000-500,000, right?
That's why that is what I see. You see, when the investment, because too little, people don't feel they can earn this kind of money. But when you see the system not as smart, the system very smart. That's one thing. Another thing is I feel that even you invest in a house, just take a house, like 300,000, the most you can get rental 300.
Yeah.
That's true?
Yes.
Yeah. And you have to borrow money, your hard-earned money put in there, and you have to rent out. If you don't rent out, you pay all the interest.
That's right.
That's it. 300,000, you imagine the stamp duty. But this one, they tell you about, let's say 400,000 is a maximum you need to invest.
Yes.
If and you got product to use, but why people can't see, I don't know. That is what thing. But those who see, I always feel that. But 10 years later, they will know. That is and any traditional business. I even create my own multi-level. That's why we are not multi-level company.
Yeah.
Our own multi-level, they pay by level percentage. It's no point. They will cut off. Just like me, I have people under, let's say, my 1,000 level. I still get 100% of their point. So I don't need a lot of people. That's why when you look at the system, you will know what I'm saying.
Exactly. And we'll share a little bit about that later as well. And the good thing is also that because it's an online, digital platform, like Justin said, we don't have to keep stock. And it's so much easier than traditional retail settings where you have to pay rent and you have to pay a lot of money just to keep stock. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And with franchise, like every Boost juice that you sell, you have to pay what, 11%?
11% cut. Even I have to pay rental, I have to pay all these things. You imagine. And
yes.
Whatever I sell, I have to give them percentage.
That's right. Exactly. Yeah. So thank you, Auntie Anne, for sharing, because as your experiences in all these different things, and you can see this is the best, and we can always learn from people like yourself who've been so successful, and that's why I truly believe that definitely shop.com is the way to go, and leveling the playing field in that average people like us can make a success of it if we follow the system. So sharing economy, just in a nutshell, as I mentioned, there are differences between shop.com and other platforms. Number one is that, of course, we can't own a piece of Uber, Airbnb, Amazon, Alibaba, eBay, and PayPal. We can only use the services as a consumer. And then with shop.com, though, we can be an owner and have a piece of it and earn money through it as well. And how is that done? Well, JR actually, is our owner of shop.com, and he purchased in 2011 the shop.com company, which is an online, a website. And as Market America, purchased it, then Bloomberg, this is the time when Bloomberg, which is a privately held financial software, data, and media company, which is headquartered in Manhattan, New York City, interview JR by turning, from the left-hand quadrant. This is, JR's plan to help people that are employees and self-employed to move into the right-hand quadrant, as you can see. Okay, sorry, I think as you can see, move into the right-hand side. Oh, sorry, I just need to just click back into the last page there. And so basically what happened is if you become, the right-hand side, quadrant of shop.com, it becomes you are the business owner, and as you invest in your annuity, which is what we call shopping annuity, then you become also an investor. Obviously, if you invest in properties and like shares and stuff like that, you are in the I quadrant. But if you are already doing shop.com, you are in the right-hand quadrant already. And so why is that? Well, let me explain how it works. And if you see this plan, you should be able to then understand. Okay, let me just share this other screen. Okay, so basically, at the center of everything is a why. So if you are looking at a way to earn extra income, residual income, without having to pay all these high startup costs, as we mentioned, like traditional businesses, then this is a company to consider. Because, Market Australia, Market America, shop.com is a financially strong, 27 years old company. We started, in 1992, so it's been around for 27 years.
Kitty,
Yeah.
Show the charge there. You
Oh, you can't see the screen?
can't see the.
Oh, sorry. Let me share. Yep. Sorry, I haven't shared. Let me just go back. Thank you, Auntie Anne. Yeah, I'll just go back there. Can you see?
Now, yes.
Great. Because I have 2 PowerPoints, so I'll stop the other one and forget to. Okay, good. Great. Okay, so okay, market, American market, Australia, shop.com is a 27-year-old company where we've been around, with proven system and worldwide training and support. So as I already, talked about the concept of shopping annuity, that you can actually own a piece of it if you become part of the company by converting spending into earning. So why is it that you would like to consider it? If you are someone that wants to have additional income, if you want to reduce your debt, if you have the desire to have time freedom, that is an important piece, because so many people who may be earning a lot of money if you are doing traditional businesses. I know many people who are earning like hundreds of thousands, every year, or even millions. However, they work 80 to 100 hours a week. Like my father, if I gave you an example, he was a very, very successful and rich, wealthy businessman when he was in Hong Kong. He owned a multiple, $1 million franchise travel company. And he would be, bringing tours everywhere all around the world. But, he would be spending 80 to 100 hours every week. And we kids and my mom never really saw him that much. So he did not have time freedom, even though, he had a lot of finances. So, that's another thing that you need to consider. You may have money, but if you don't have time, that's still not good. One of the things that is very important is if you have time, then you can really, truly do whatever that you like. What about early retirement? Like Robert Kiyosaki always says, retire rich, retire young, and you can then do things that you really want. Otherwise, if you retire at an older age, you might not necessarily have the ability to then enjoy life, right? So yeah, definitely, like Daniel and Jacqueline, who are still young, you want time freedom. I totally agree. Derek and I, that's one of the key things we want. Even money may not be that important compared to time, because if you have time, then you can do things that you really, really like, right, Daniel and Jacqueline? I know with you guys, and the same with us, we want to do mission work. We want to do charitable work. We want to do things that are meaningful to us and not be stuck at, 9 to 5, 45 years, yeah? And security is another thing, right? You want to have security to be able to perhaps, support, your family or other people as well. And so these are some of the things that you can actually position yourself for success, and what shop.com can offer you. Number one is it offers you a business that is very easy to start. You don't have to be investing in hundreds of thousands or even millions like what we talked about with franchises or other businesses, traditional business as well. And you own a shop that is online, and that is really the trend of this day and age. You have even if you just have a mobile, you already, have your own online shop and mobile shop, and you don't have to have, your own retail outlet and be stuck into, a retail setting. And the other thing is annuity, which is ongoing, whereby, you can be even like this graph, you can be at the beach and you can still work. So there is freedom there. Okay, and the other thing that is very important is that, you are spending on things anyway. So who on this call doesn't spend money, right? Every single one of us would be spending money on the things that you can see here, whether it's personal care or, your travel or tour or reading, food, groceries, electronics, toys, Christmas, birthday presents, etc. You will be spending money on these things anyway. Then why not, spend money and earn money at the same time? And that is what shop.com can offer you. So that's why it just makes a lot of sense to be part of shop.com, where you can convert spending into earning. So let me just briefly, in the next 10 minutes or so, explain what the unfranchised business is. Why is it that we call this business unfranchised? Well, it's because it's like a franchise where, you basically have a lot of the benefits of it that, you don't have to worry about system because it's already established for you, and systemization, uniformity, and you can have just follow existing leverage system that you don't have to create on your own. However, you don't have to be like a franchise, so that's why it's called an unfranchise, to be investing in a lot of startup like in standard McDonald's, more than 1 million, and there is no territorial restrictions and high startup cost. So how do you get started with a shop.com unfranchised business? So there are different steps. The first step is what we call apply. Well, if you know your name, your address, your phone number, then it's very easy. You just apply. There are 2 ways to go about it. The first is as a sales representative. There is no cost. You can buy product at cost and earn retail profit. But that is not something that we would encourage, because in essence, as a sales representative, you're buying another job. So that is going back to the small business or, a sales job. What we would advocate is the second way to apply to become an unfranchised owner, and that is for you to actually buy product at cost and then earn retail profit as an owner of this platform, where you only need to pay a subscription fee of $129.95, not $129,000, right? It's very, very affordable. And then you can participate in what we call a management performance compensation plan, where you can earn an ongoing income through commissions and also invest in an annuity for you and your generations after, which means that you can actually pay it forward for your next generations as well. So when you start up as an unfranchised owner, you actually have, more than 10 different websites, including, the shop.com itself. You have the various line of products, including cosmetics, weight management, global shop, which allow you to be sharing the products and blessing people with the great products all around the world. But also in Asia Pacific, where we are all in, we have 5 country-specific websites, including Australia, Taiwan, Hong Kong, Singapore, and Malaysia. And we also provide you with business tools as well. Okay, Auntie Anne would like to know who Kylie is. Kylie is Emma's guest, right? Yeah, Kylie is Emma's guest. So welcome, Kylie. Yep. And so subscription fee is not monthly, Dennis. Subscription fee is only one-off when you come in. I will share with you later on also that if you actually go for what we call Fast Start Kit, it's actually included in there. And I'll go through a little bit of that. Okay. So as you can see, as you come in, you have 3 different centers, 1, 2, and 3 there, 001, 002, 003. Okay. Okay, so the second step is to create. Now, BDC stands for Business Development Center. So you have these 3 shops, we call them, and we have 2 different ways that you can earn an income. BV stands for business volume, and that is the type of point allocated for our exclusive Market Australia or Market America branded products, including, the makeup range, isotonics, which is our health and nutrition, skincare, baby range, or cleaning products, weight management, etc. So business volume are the points that used to calculate your commissions. And on the right-hand side is what we call the IBV, which is Internet Business Volume. And that is the type of point system that is for the partner store purchases through your online shop, including, as I mentioned, close to 800 different stores in Australia. And if you're in Malaysia, Singapore, Hong Kong, there's even more. I know that in Hong Kong, there's more than 1,000 partner stores already. And all of these shops, you can earn, internet business volume through shopping online as well. So all of the tools, as I mentioned, and as you come in as a business owner, you have the different tools like, the various websites, more than 10 of them, as well as, social media and your experienced business partners, leveraging on training and stuff like that as well. So that is the second step. And the third step is to qualify. What does that mean? Well, qualify is basically if you start up with accumulating a minimum of 200 business volume, then you can start, having your bank, we call them bank, which is your left and right BV and IBV bank. As you can see on the right-hand side, the green part is the Internet Business Volume banks, which are for the, the partner stores, and the red bits are for the branded products, which is our exclusive products. And so the best way for you to actually enter into as part of our business is what we call a fast start program. And this is the general one where you get, the most popular products, as you can see here with shop.com, including the health and nutritional product range, which we call isotonics, which is the same fluid pressure with powder form for you to drink. Obviously tonight we won't be going through too much of the actual product range, but basically this is what you get. And you also have the ultimate aloe juice, as well as cleaning products and the personal care products as well. So this is by far the most popular startup kit. But we also have, for people who are interested in makeup, what we call Motives Cosmetics, which is an amazing range of makeup cosmetic range that you can come to join as a fast start program. Or for people who are interested in selling websites for small to medium business owners, Web Solution is another fast start program that you can purchase as well. So inside this kit, you would not only have all these products, but you also get a subscription kit, which includes a lot of the features, aids, including what we call the catalog, the support materials like annual report, getting started guide that will help you to become successful in your blueprint, in starting up, as well as shopping list, etc. So when you come in, all of the subscription kit will allow you to start learning and earning as well. And so basically, if you do this, you come in, you only have to pay $439 Australian, which is a huge saving, because if you were to purchase, let's say the middle one, the shop.com popular fast start kit, you would have to pay more than $700 for retail, but you only pay $400. So you're saving, close to $300 already. But not only that, you will get 300 business volume, which means your first shop, you get 200 BV, and then the second and third shop, you'll get 50 BV respectively as well. And so that is the best way for you to come in as a business owner. And as Dennis, you asked the question, the subscription fee, is that monthly? No, that subscription fee is actually, in fact, included in this 439 already. We do have monthly auto ship and other things which we'll go through a bit later. And all you need to pay is $26, which really a monthly fee where you get, as I mentioned, all the 10 different websites and other things that I'll share about later. So then the fourth step is what we call activate. Activate is basically imagining yourself becoming the CEO of this particular business. And when you introduce two people who are qualified with the 200 BV minimum, what we call sponsor, which means you bring in or introduce them into the business as part of your sales and distribution organization. On your left, organization and right. So in this case, you have a Mark on the left and Kate on the right, both qualified, and they can come in either just a minimum of 200 BV, or if they start up like you do with the fast start kit of 300 BV, which is the most popular way to come in, then you will be activated already and start being eligible to earn a commission. Then the final step is, as you learn, then you can teach, manage, and support your organization, because obviously people lead to other people and other people. So then you will teach them to apply, create, qualify, and activate. So in the case of Mark and Kate, so let's say they become your leader, then you will help Mark to also, introduce two people, in this case, the health professional and Sarah and Rick, and you also help Kate on your right side, to, let's say, introduce a personal trainer and Ben. And so in that case, you already have 7 people on both your left and right, including yourself. So this is what we call, the step 5, helping people to support them and grow your team. So as you keep on going, when you will also have other new business partners that you can place, there is this really important concept that, you can sponsor more and more people. In fact, it's actually advisable, for us not to only sponsor 2 people, but to over sponsor, meaning, sponsor more and more people each quarter, and then you can place them, into your organization. Let's say in this case, you have a new UnFranchise owner that you introduce and bless Matt into becoming your partner. You can place Matt then into the very last person that you personally introduced, in this case, Chris. Then Chris will be able to get all the business volumes from Matt all the way up to you. In between, Chris, health professional, and Mark will also get all the business and business volume and internet business volume as well. And on the other hand, let's say you've got Erica, who is another new UnFranchise owner that you would like to place into your other side. On the right hand side, you can place Erica to the web designer, who is the very last person. So yes, subscription fee, as Auntie Ann Look stated here, is really what we call an annual renewal. So that's different from the initial, $129.95. Second year, the annual renewal is only $99.95, which I will go through at the end of this presentation, just to let you know, Dennis. Okay, so let's say you've got, obviously, senior business partner that are, in your organization that is before you, and they can also place business partners in your organization. Let's say they have a new business partner, Lisa. So this new senior partner can actually place the new partner into under the new UnFranchise owner, Matt, as well. So what that means is, everyone in the organization can support one another, and not like the traditional multi-level marketing, whereby only the new people would benefit their, senior partner, or they call themselves upline. In this case, every, one that are, senior partners can also support the junior partners. So, as we support others, the volume can be assigned to the UnFranchise owner that you personally sponsored as well. So you can assign that, as we talked about. Let's say Matt is the person you personally sponsored, as we mentioned previously. When you have BV or IBV that you personally purchase, or your customer purchase, you can place all of that in Matt's organization. So that way, Matt will have all the BV, IBV, and it can go back up to you, and the people in between, like Chris, health professional, and Mark, will also get 100% of all of that BV and IBV. And the same goes on the right-hand side, where if you have BV, IBV to be assigned to Erica as well. The same thing happens in between, Kate, Ann, and Ben, and the web designer will get 100% of all of the BV and IBV. So here I'm going to go through the money side of things so that you know how the income is earned through commission and bonuses. But one disclaimer that is very important is to let you know that, of course, this is for illustration and it's not typical unless you follow the system. Because the success of any franchise owner really depends on the amount of hard work and dedication and how much you devote into implementing the proven systems to build this business. And if you are following the system, then as we always have been told, it's not a matter of if, but when you will be able to reach your goal. So all you need to do is just keep on following the system and learn from your partners, senior business partners, and be coachable. Then you will be able to reach your goals. Okay, so let's have a look at how commissions are earned. Right now, tracking system is really amazing. It actually searches every single day to infinity for all the purchases and sales made by you, your team, and all of your customers. Okay, so let's say in this case, have your left and right hand side both will actually go to the very last person, including their customers. So these are some of the examples. As you have a look at it, you actually get 100% credit for all of the volume generated within your organization. So that's you in the middle. And you see Mark has purchased the branded products of Ultimate Aloe and internet business volumes from Woolworths, which is our partner store. And then Chris on the left hand side may buy a Pentaxo, which is one of our fantastic skincare product. And then on the right hand side, let's have a look at one of the example. Let's say Kate, who purchased our branded products, Motives cosmetics, and then she also is hosting a party, and she goes to Dan Murphy's and buys some wine to host a party. So these are the different things that you actually are able to accrue all the business volumes for 365 days, and it's the same for internet business volume. So every single one of these business volumes and internet business volumes will be accrued in your organization for 365 days. And so basically, how is a commission earned? So when you basically reach the first level, which is 1,200 BV on your left and right, then the company will give you a $300 income, which will be deposited into your bank. Then when you reach another 1,200, which reaches 2,400 on your left and right, the company will also offer you another $300. And when you reach another 1,200 on top of 2,004, then you reach 3,600, then you will also earn another $300. And when you reach 5,000, which is 1,400 on top of the 3,600, then you will earn an extra $600, which is $1,500. Now, this is the Australian dollars, and if you are from other parts of the world, I can actually show you after a little bit about different parts of the world. But you can see it's the same for BV and IBV. It's the same 3,336, which is 1,500. So let me just quickly go through another list that I've got. Okay. Can you see this one here? This is actually, okay, let's see. I don't know can you see this, Auntie Anne? The Asia Pacific one. Yep. So I know that on this call, we've got people from Malaysia, Hong Kong, and Singapore as well. So I've done the Hong Kong one, which wasn't available. And I know that with Heidi and her partner also from Hong Kong. So this is the Asia Pacific spreadsheet that we've put together. So as I mentioned just now, with 1,200, 24, 36, and 500, you can earn up to 1,500 Australian dollars. So let's say with Liwa and Liwa's friend Sam, you're from Malaysia, and you can see from the fourth column, you can earn, if you reach 1,200 on your left and right, 1,200 ringgit. Then 24 will be 1,200 ringgit, and then 36, 1,200 ringgit. When you reach 5,000, then you would earn 2,400 ringgit. So that means if you max out the total commission when you reach 5,000 on your left and right, you can earn up to 6,000 ringgit, for that cycle. So let me give you another example for people that are from Hong Kong, which is the second column. Heidi, you requested for me to do the Hong Kong one. I just got that done before we started, and Derek did that for us. Thank you, Derek. So that one is the Hong Kong one on the second column. If you reach 1,200, you will be earning Hong Kong dollars 2,300, and 24 would be another 2,300 Hong Kong dollars. 36 on your left and right is another 2,300 Hong Kong dollars. When you reach 5,000, that's 4,600. So all up, when you reach 5,000, you will be able to earn Hong Kong dollars 11,500. So for Vera and Diana, you're from Singapore. You're pretty much in the middle, 375, 375, and 750. You can earn up to 1,875 Singapore dollars. So if you guys want to take a picture of that, or if you want to request this, please feel free to WhatsApp me. I'm more than happy to send this spreadsheet to you. Auntie Anne, I will give this updated one for you so you can spread it out, because I'm aware that the Hong Kong one may be necessary for some people. Yep.
Yes. So I missed out the Hong Kong one.
Yeah, I just did that. As Lily said, frequency of payment will depend on how fast you accumulate to the thresholds. Exactly. So that is an important point. Obviously, the goal is to get to weekly. But let's say when you first started, it might take you, say, even 9 months or a year for you to get to 5,000. Then you may say, oh, I only earn 1,500 in a year. That might not be that much. But then, the more people that you continue to build within your organization, it comes down to, say, a year to 9 months to, say, 7 months, 6 months. So the fastest payment then is weekly. So, when you get to weekly 1,500 Australian in BV and then IBV, that would be 3,000. So that is an important key. Obviously the frequency will depend on how fast the whole organization works together with your customers to accumulate to that particular thresholds of 1,200, 24, 36, and 5,000 on your left and right. So exactly like Huey said, the power of leveraging, because it's not just you yourself, having to accumulate all these 5,000. It includes yourself, your customers, and your organization's, personal usage as well as their customers. So that is amazing, isn't it?
And the retail profit is not included.
Exactly. That is another thing.
Yes.
Because retail profits can be a whole lot more. Like this is only commission. So that's exactly right. So
just like you take 1 year to reach 5,000.
Yeah.
Next cycle might be 8 months, then 6 months, 5 months, 4 months, 3 months, 2 months, 3 week, 1 week, 2 week. I think we need to send that one to you. I think I have one is make up how your commission can grow.
Sure. Okay. Yeah.
I will send to you.
Yeah. That's good. Thank you, Auntie Anne. So that's why, like Justin said, we need to have the right people in the organization, not just recruiting, because, if they are the right people, obviously they will understand the power of leverage, and they will see how good the products are. They become the products of the products, and they would be able to then use the concept of leverage, So this is the idea, right? This completes the BV cycle. Obviously, the goal is weekly, and then when BV cycle is complete, then the bank will be resetting to 0, and then we'll restart a new cycle. Okay, so that is how it works. It works the same as BV and IBV, right? And so that means, you can earn up to $3,000 when you reach 5,000 each week, right?
Just like my center already reached 60,000, a week, you see.
Yeah, wow, that's amazing, isn't it? Yeah, so that's really amazing. So that is you can actually on top of that earn what we call a management bonus, which is $600 on top, which basically if you reach 5,000 the same week as one person on your left organization and then one person on your right organization, it doesn't have to be the person you personally introduce. It can be anyone on your left, on your right. Then the company will give you an extra $600 management bonus. And that is really good because when you think about it, if you are an employee and if you work and help someone in your company, will the company give you extra money? Of course not, right? Whereas here, if you help your business partners, to get to 5,000, the company actually gives you extra bonus, extra, $600. So what that means, apart from the 1,500, you can earn up to 2,100, even just with the exclusive products. But if you also get another, weekly 1,500 with the partner store IBV amount, then you can earn up to $3,600 weekly potential per business development center. So that is really, something very, very unique in our unfranchised business that is really not seen anywhere else. So basically, if you want to earn more income, I mean, if you say that, okay, one is not enough, you can start off with three. Each, as I mentioned, of potential, you can earn 3,600 weekly. Then three centers you already will be able to earn 10,800 because 3,600 per week, right? So three of them is already 10,800 for per week, if you max out each week for, the three centers. So with the extra centers, like, a center from 004, 5, etc., you basically have a lot more leverage because you only need to do, 2 times the effort, but 3 times the result. And Auntie Ann can explain that to us because it's so true that we don't really need to build again the left-hand side of your 004. Although a lot of the people on this group may not even need to understand that yet because we're focusing on perhaps one center, right?
Focus on one center. One you strong, then you build 2 seconds, you can take your easy time. You don't need to work. The first center is the major thing.
Exactly.
The second center, you only build one night because one you build very strong. When you start your second center, your triple fast is very quick because everybody will fight in this week. You see?
Yep.
So make sure you build your first center strong before you open your second. Okay?
Exactly. Yeah, because even, how Auntie and I was sharing previously that even one center without the IBV payment is already 2,100, right? 2,100 is already 108,000, which is 6-figure. 109,000, which is already 6-figure. For me, that is pretty good already.
Yeah, because when I come in, there's no IBV. That's how I did the first year, 50,000. The second year, 156. Then, that is 109. Plus, I built my second center already.
That's right. And it's such an encouraging thing. And like Justin said, she was helping her colleague at work and they took all the glory. And it's such a common thing, Justin. You're not alone because in a traditional employee setting, we tend to help people, if we are the type that love helping people. I remember, I used to work, in a marketing company. We would be helping people to perhaps reach their target. They get all the glory. It's so true. We don't actually get, any bonus from the company. And like Marisa said, though, with our business, with shop.com, we are helping other people, but at the same time, we are awarded for helping others because leverage is the main point as we help others, like Leanne said, which is so true. Duplication.
Don't think of yourself. Think of you help your two business partners successfully, you automate it there.
Exactly. So that's basically your goal. If you are happy to just even with one center, without IBV 2,100, with IBV already 3,600 per week, you're already earning 187,000 a year. That is close to 200. Like is actually above average earning. In Australia already.
And it's ongoing. Your income, if you build it strong, it's ongoing.
Exactly.
They don't build, they stare. Because
Yes.
everybody will keep on spending.
Yep.
Nobody will stop, because when you get even 1,000 a week, you will keep on spending, you see. Because
Exactly.
more, you help your team more. Just like me, I spend so much money, but all go to my team, not myself.
Yes. And as you can see, let's say, if you only have, this one center, but then if you say, okay, well, I want more, then you can earn up to, 3 centers is 374, 561, like you can obviously have more and more and more. If you have 4 centers, 748, like even 3 centers, if you max out, is already more than 500,000.
Correct.
Yeah.
And you can build it to a next generation to continue to build. Just like I only built 2 centers. Coming down is my children continue to build. Can you see that? Because I feel 1 center already enough, 100,000.
Exactly. Yeah. And I love what Justin said here as well, that, in MA, we really generally help each other and get rewarded for it. It's such an amazing thing. Like even for me, I know that, I'm so happy to be able to do this, and everyone can support one another by leveraging. But at the same time, when I actually learn from other people, and I can leverage others as well. So leverage is really such a key concept in this business.
Yes.
Yeah. And so now this is really, a summary of what we need to do as an ongoing business activities. All we need really is such an easy way for us to build a business with volume accrual option. The first minimum is only 50 BV, maximum 150 BV. Obviously, the more you can actually accrue, the better, and 10 to 30 IBV. So let's say, if you get an isotonic daily essentials kit, it's already 100 BV. So, and all you need to pay is $26 as the monthly, what we call UnFranchise management system. So then, as you ask the question, is that monthly, that $149.95? No, the $149.95 is included in your Fast Start kit, $439. The only monthly payment you need to do is only $26, but that $26 includes so much. It includes your back office, it includes the magazine and all your more than 10 websites. $26, when you think about it, is not even like a cup of coffee a week. But then you get all of this amazing management system and, back office and stuff like that. And then retailing, the only requirement is minimum $200 per quarter, 3 months to customers. So when you think about it, if you own a retail shop, you need $200 in an hour, not 3 months. So, $200 per quarter is such an easy target. And then annual renewal is, as Auntie Anne said, is only $99.95. Okay, so basically,
about the $26 is because of your MYOB.
Exactly. But MYOB is so expensive, right?
Yes. You can see everybody down the track. You don't need to keep another book. Everything they show you.
That's right.
And your management fee is, even you have 1, 2, 3, 10 center, is also $26 per month. All over the world. Think of that.
That's right, exactly. So let me just share with you the highlight and the summary of what we've gone through with the unfranchiseshop.com business. So number one is the concept that you can convert spending into earning with the shopping annuity. Number two is, as soon as you get started, you can already immediately earn retail profits and cashback. Obviously, cashback is for customers, but for you, if you become a partner, then you can earn retail profits. Then number three is every single month you can accrue and accumulate business volume and internet business volume as well. And it's all 100% credit. It's not like, in the situation of multi-level marketing, it's only a certain percentage. And number five is you can place volume and people so that they can benefit from you as well in, senior business partner. And number 6 is you can have unlimited income potential. As we mentioned, even just one center, you can already earn, 6-figure. If you want, you can earn as much as you like, up to 999 centers, and that is like a lot of money. So that's basically it. And what are your next steps if you are interested to get to know more about our business? Then obviously you can establish your unfranchised business. But what I would normally say, go back to the person who invited you to this call and get them to explain or share this in a more detailed, or you can go on to what we call an unfranchised business presentation to have a second look. And any question that you have, I definitely would encourage you to schedule an appointment with the person who invited you to this call and get your questions answered, or do a trial run with them. The most important thing is obviously get to understand our products, because that you can try our exclusive products as well as the partner store, so that way you know how good our products are. And obviously if you are the type that you can already see this business can help you earn ongoing residual income to reach your goal, then establishing an unfranchised business is something to be considered for sure. So that's all I would like to share tonight. And anyone has any question or feedback, or perhaps for those of you who are already business owners, you can share with us a bit of your experience. Let's see, we've got quite a few guests here. I would like to see if you've got any question. We've got Liwa and who else is here?
Yeah, I think any guest, if they have question, they can ask. If not, you just have because you won't understand the first time when you see the business.
Yes.
Anything doubt, you just ask question. We will know how to answer you. Or you can just ask your senior or the people who invite you to answer your question.
That's right.
We don't want Kitty to work too hard also.
Exactly. That's okay.
It's very general to open up to everybody. I hope everybody in this group, they can take them to do the presentation. That would be very good.
Yes. So yeah, I'd like to thank you, all of you, for being on this call, and particularly would like to thank our guests, who is open and willing to learn this new concept, because I've heard of this really good analogy. Our mind is like a parachute. It only works if we are open. So if you're open-minded and you're willing to learn, at ongoing way of earning an income, then this is actually a no-brainer, because as we've already shared, quite a number of the people here have been involved in traditional businesses, and they've had to work so hard and also put in so much extra effort and money, whereas with this one is such an easy but also way to come in and not a lot of investment. Okay, so thank you everyone, and if you have any question at all, as I mentioned, please feel free to contact the person who've invited you here. And once again, yeah, thank you, and I hope that you all have a great night. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, Kitty. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Kitty.
Thank you, Lily.
Good night. Good
Good
night.
night.
Good night.
Thank you, Dennis. Thank you, Robert, for coming in, and Sam and Liwa. Thank you for being our guest. Thank you. And Serena and May.
Thanks. Thanks.
Thanks, Kitty.
Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you, Daniel, Jacqueline. See you soon in Brisbane. And Henry. Bye for now.